techniques. Hooks, becoming the foreperson, rebuttal, the law, and objections. We'll start with hooks. We're working on all these throughout the week, so none of these should be new to you. Trilogies, storytelling, news headlines, quotes. But at the end of the day, they need to be retainable, recallable, and retellable. Trilogies. Battered, bruised, and bleeding. When you use a trilogy, it's important to follow up with an explanation. Battered, bruised, and bleeding. Been long laid on the cold pavement of the parking lot. Battered from punch after punch from Mr. Stites. Bruised from the relentless beating he received. And bleeding out of his skull, which will turn into a concussion. Storytelling. Obviously, we spent a whole day just on storytelling. One of the key points for storytelling is moments of decision, or choices. But the reverse of that's also true. A choice not to do something. So for example, the Anita Liquor Commission. The city made a big deal about Walter Watkins leaning on the pole, stumbling down the street, yada yada. But that only matters if Dan Jones saw that stuff. So what did the Liquor Commission ever do to prove, or at least imply, that Dan Jones saw that? Did they ask him if he saw him walking down the street? Did the commission stand at the counter and look through the window to see if there's even a line of sight down there? So choices, what people don't do, is just as important as what people do. And juries really bite on that. Because I think they have more of a tendency to side with you if they feel like people have a conscious decision or chance to do something, but they just don't do it. And of course, organize persuasively. I can't think of an example where the beginning of the story is the most interesting part. How many movies have we seen where they start at some point in the middle or the end of the story, and then they do a flashback? Very first episode of Breaking Bad. It opens up, this guy's driving an RV, he's wearing a gas mask, he's swerving all over the road out in the desert, camera pans to the back, there's two lifeless bodies kind of swishing around in this liquid. Boom, the RV crashes off the road. The guy gets out of the driver's seat, he's wearing his gas mask, he's got a shirt, I think he's in his underwear. He's got a .44 Magnum, and you can hear the sirens coming around the way. Boom, cut to credits. Wow, what's happening? I'm sucked in. Then after the credits, then they started this birthday party, which is boring. They organized that storytelling persuasively. They started at what I would say is the emotional epicenter of that individual episode. And don't be married to stories from your case. You can use stories from anywhere. Wisdom tales, fables, proverbs, parables, TV shows, movies. I had a friend who set up the South Park Chewbacca defense. He introduced the South Park episode through speaking, and then he turned around and said, if the Wookiee lives on Endor, you must acquit. I don't think I could pull that off, but he did. News headline. This is similar to some of the exercises we've done, and I really like this one to help with writer's block. If you're really stuck and don't know what to do, try this one. And the idea is that Your juror is sitting there at the breakfast table before reporting to jury duty. And they're reading the newspaper, and you get to write the story that they read. You get to write the headline. So in 10 words or less, what does that headline say about your case? You can also turn those into questions. So in other words, you can take the headline, which might say something like, overworked clerk mistakenly sells to drunk person. You could turn that into a question. Say, some of you may be asking, why would someone sell to someone who smells like alcohol? Some of you might be asking, what is the pressure like of having to run an entire liquor store by yourself during a busy Saturday night? Quotes. Quotes from the case. Are there any good quotes in the Ramirez case? It doesn't have to be from the case. It can be historical. It can be fictional. Again, from movies, books, songs. A particular song lyric that you think really drives your case theory home, use it.